A Beginner's Guide to Buying a Radio, Part 2. In this part of my guide on how to buy a radio, we will be looking at different types of radios you can get, and you can then look at the different types of ones to determine which will best fit your needs and wants. Firstly, there are many types of radio out there, including portable radios, which are the most common. Then you have your home wood cabinet style radios, perfect for a bedroom or lounge room, or any place in your house where you would like to listen to the radio. And you also have handheld radios, which are pocket-sized radios that can be tucked away in a pocket and carried around easily. These radios offer the most convenience but also lack certain features of functionality other radios have. For example, a handheld radio usually has a smaller speaker, which won't produce as good or a nice sound as that with a larger speaker. However, radios are not high-fidelity devices. The audio you hear is relatively low fidelity. FM radio might sound great and all, but AM radio is incredibly lo-fi. The radio you think is best will be determined by your budget, your needs, wants, and preferences, and if style is important to you, go with something that looks fancy but is a decent radio. Some retro radios might look good, but are actually cheap and nasty on the inside, and might be overpriced, so be careful shopping for a retro-style AM/FM radio, if that's the sort of radio you want, as you could come across a scam or two. Another thing to consider is the way you will be listening to the radio. Do you always want to be listening to it with headphones, or will you just to be using the speaker, or even better yet, would you want to hook it up to an amplifier or stereo system? These are all things you have to consider, as well as other things, such as power usage, durability, the quality of the radio, as well as the warranty period you get. So if anything goes wrong or it is defective, you can claim warranty and get it fixed or repaired for free, and if you cannot claim warranty, you can always take it to a technician to identify any problems. It's also important to consider the bands you want to be using. Are you old school and like AM radio, or do you prefer FM radio, or are you into citizens band radios? You will have to decide on what best fits you, and depending on the country you live in, different radio models are available at different stores across the world. You can also shop online on places like eBay or Amazon, if you're looking for something that's not locally available to you. Some radios also have clocks and alarms built in, so if this is a must-have, get one with a digital display. Otherwise, going old-school analog is just fine. Plus, the analog radios tend to use a bit less power, although this is minuscule. Speaking of power, you also have to see how much power your specific model uses. Some radios use a little as less than a watt, while others, such as a home wood cabinet style radio, can use as much as 100 watts. Portable radios usually consume between 1 and 3 watts on average, and on DC power batteries, you will have to see how long they last for. However, if possible, it's preferable to use AC power, as you have a stable power supply for your radio, and you can leave it on 24/7 without worrying about flattening your batteries. If you're concerned about power usage when connected to AC power, you can get yourself a cheap little power meter plug. These handy little devices can measure the amount of watts your devices use. You simply plug the power monitor into a wall outlet or power board, and then jack up the device you want to measure the power usage. In this case it's a radio. Some plugs have additional features and functionality, so if you're concerned about your radio drawing a lot of power, which is not a thing that is likely to happen, unless your model is known to draw a lot of power, then get a power monitor plug specific to your country, and you can measure the watts or kilowatts of your radio. That was just a nifty little tip I wanted to share, but getting back to our beginner's buying guide, you also want to consider functionality and features. Some radios also have the ability to read SD cards, USB sticks, have a phone or microphone connected via the line-in port, to play the audio through the speaker, a headphone out port for private listening, a line out, amongst much more. So you'll also want to be sure that whatever you get is something you will like and be satisfied with. Sometimes paying more is better, because you will get more, although this is not always the case. Whatever the case, I hope you find this series useful. If you're in the market for a radio, please give these videos a thumbs up if you like them or find them useful. I would really appreciate it. Alrighty, that's it for this video folks. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.